had to share.
You know what? You're since we're just getting rolling and we got other people logging on, I would love to recount your experience from yesterday and what we were just talking about. So here's what had happened was Taz got an email. She's got a listing. She got an email from an agent that is in. I don't think anybody realized until we dug further that the agent was in Athens and was trying to show Taz's listing in. Is it Lawrenceville? Am I remembering right? Duluth. And she was calling, asking questions because she doesn't have access to MLS, to First MLS. She was like, what is the cooperating broker commission? Will my super lockbox work there? A lot of people don't realize is if you're working outside of the Metro Atlanta area, the FMLS and the Supra systems for lockboxes, they're all tied together. They don't work in areas outside. Your license as an agent covers you to work anywhere in the state of Georgia, but if you're trying to sell somebody a house in Macon or Valdosta or Savannah, you don't have access necessarily to that MLS, and that MLS provides you with the tools to be able to do your job. So that's one of the reasons why you want to consider referring an agent, a client out that is outside of your normal area. Okay. And so Taz got this email going, well, can you tell me all this information? And she's going, why does she need all this information? It's in the MLS. Well, she can't see the MLS. She's blind. She doesn't know. Okay. All right. So that was 2 minutes of introduction on a totally separate matter altogether. All right. I think we've got kind of a quorum here for everybody. Good morning to you all. How's everybody doing?
Good morning. We're all doing great.
Fabulous. Love to hear it. Before we roll into what we're going to talk about, does anybody have any burning questions, any burning issues, anything that you want to talk about in a public forum?
Hey, Jay, it's Dale.
Hey, Dale.
So, the project that my daughter and son-in-law is involved in.
Yep.
Their lender said that, I think I text you, that she's saying that we don't need to send a contingency to sell before you buy. That what she has seen is that if you can try to get a longer due diligence, while you're doing that, go ahead and get your house, hopefully listed and then under contract before your due diligence is up. So,
listed and under contract before due diligence is up. Okay.
So I contacted the seller, the listing agent, and she said that contract I was going to go ahead and send out. Mm-hmm. Try to do at least a 10 to 14 day. She said no. She said 5 days because she got burned.
Yep.
With a 10 days. She said no one's doing 14-day due diligence anymore. So
they're not, and that was a lender's solution to your problem. But a lender is staying in his lane, and he has his areas of focus. They're not often the same as your areas of focus.
Right.
So I tell you what, let's do this. Let's you and I chat after this. I will call you, kind of talk about some strategies. The good news is they don't have to put the contingency in the offer. There's still some risk to your client, but at least they don't have to have that. So that is going to work in your favor in the long run.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay.
Actually, Jay, I would like to hear that too. Can that be a subject one day?
Sure. You got it. Absolutely. We can talk about that. Okay. Kind of goes, the scope might go a little bit beyond what we're going to do today, but we absolutely will talk about that. And we can talk about that in our coaching sessions too, if you have some specific questions too. Okay. All right, everybody. Before we get rolling today, we're going to review something that we've all kind of heard before, but I've never have put it into a formal training class. We've done so now, and this is going to be something that we will revisit on occasion periodically. Plus, we're going to have it on the video, and we can use it for training purposes later too. But before I get rolling, I want to share something with you. everybody needs just a little smile, a little encouragement in the morning. I want to share something with you. I don't care who you are. If you don't think that this kid is cute, we don't need to be friends. That's all I'm just going to say about this. So before we get rolling, hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, are you guys looking at my screen here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, smartest kid on the planet. Stick a finger. He's 1 year old. Stick a camera in his face, and he says cheese. I think his 3-year-old brother taught him how to do it. That's all I can tell you about that.
I wonder who that is to you.
They call me Pop Pop around here. That's all I got to say.
Totally adorable. Love it.
I'm glad you liked it. All right. So, having said that and having gone through that, we're now 6 minutes into this. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We are going to review the Century 21 lead generation program. We're going to talk about what you need to do to participate in receiving leads. What are the prerequisites? We're going to talk about what you do when you receive a lead, and we're going to talk about what you're going to do after you receive a lead and what you need to do to stay lead eligible. Okay, so these are great opportunities. We built this program specifically for you, the agents, to be able to help you live a better life. So let's just dive straight into it. We're going to get rolling, and we will stop if you have any questions. Some of you are already. Who on here is actually getting some? I know Leah is. I know Lacey is. Julia, are you? Tracy is. Lots. Claire, I believe you're doing some too.
Yeah.
This is a great program, and it is intended to bridge the gap, to provide you with some experience. Doesn't take much for you to be involved, and it's a great way to help you build your business and grow your skill set too. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to share screens again, and then click this button, and that's not working. Why is that not working? Share a different screen. Sorry, folks. Okay, now you're looking at lead generation program?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so without further ado, so Century 21 Connect a Lead program, why do we have it? This is what we're going to cover. Why do we have a lead program? Why do we provide our agents with leads? We're going to talk about what is the cost to receive company provided leads. How do I become eligible to receive those leads, and what actions do I take after when I've received a lead? Thought you guys might like this little funny. Zillow got out of the business of buying homes, and decided to do what they're good at, selling leads to idiots. I used to be one of those idiots, so I can say this. All right. Keep in mind, we want you to participate in all activities that are going to generate leads for yourself, and do everything that is free before you ever spend money on anything else, on buying leads from anyone else. Are we 100% clear on that? I don't want you spending money. All right. So why do we have a lead generation program? Why do we supply leads to our agents? Well, frankly, we saw the need. And it goes right back to our mantra, helping agents to get from the life they have to the life that they want. So we're trying to meet the need for where you guys are at. And we saw that there were agents that were in the process of transitioning into Century 21, or wanted to transition into Century 21, but had been in an environment that was dependency. There was a dependency upon leads. We wanted to be able to take that argument away. Okay. And then you know, we've all heard it before. And what else can we do? That is Mike's mantra for our brokerage, our leadership team. We wanted to provide you with this opportunity. Okay, so the main reason for having the program is to bridge the gap for new to Century 21 agents coming on board and transitioning from either another brokerage or even another vocation. Somebody that has a part-time job but trying to transition into full-time real estate. We just simply want to ease that pain and make that transition a little bit easier for you in the process. Okay, the other thing that having a lead program does, it provides you with some valuable experience and some exposure, and it gets you out of your comfort zone. Okay, whereas somebody might otherwise never pick up the phone and call a lead or cold call, this provides you that opportunity to do so. Okay. A slide to move here. What the Century 21 Leads program was not intended to be. It was intended to be a stopgap solution. It's not intended to be a long-term vertical to your business. Okay, if you're building your entire business model after the leads that you're going to receive from Century 21, this may not be that might not be the right solution for you, and this may not be the right place for you, because we're going to teach you how to have multiple verticals. Verticals are the lines that feed into your main business. Okay, and we don't advocate that you just do one vertical to your business. All right, and this is simply to hone your agent skill sets in overcoming those client objections. That's another great reason why we do this program. All right, what is the cost to receive company provided leads? Well, this is a pretty simple one slide. There is no charge. It is 100% free to you. The only thing is you're just going to pay your normal agent split. Okay, so the cost to you is nothing financially, but it is that you need to be a good steward of the lead. All right, let's have a very candid discussion about the word stewardship. What does that mean to you? I'm curious.
To like do everything that you're supposed to be doing with a lead, like follow up promptly, make sure that you accept or decline it from Mike, who's giving you it, within a reasonable time, follow up with the person within a reasonable time. Just basically doing what you're supposed to do with every lead that you get.
Well, those are very specific to this program. I'm glad to hear you say that, because you're 100% correct on all of those. I was just thinking in terms of just general stewardship. To me, the word stewardship has some just me personally, some biblical implications. With stewardship comes an acknowledgement that the thing that you are working on, that you are trying to be a good steward of, was provided to you not because of someone's obligation, but it was provided to you as a gift. There is no charge for these. Okay, we are a different brokerage in that there are many other brokerages that provide leads to their agents, but they're doing so at a cost. So they have an expectation of your obligation to them in doing so. That's why a lot of teams are structured that you may have heard of, some of the bigger ones around town. I won't mention any names, but they rhyme with Spark Maine, things like that. Okay. So those teams, you may be provided a lead, but you have an obligation and a duty and a commitment to do this. This is a little different. Okay. This is stewardship. This is, you're provided something with no expectation of a financial incentive or anything involved. It's essentially a gift. But that gift comes with just a commitment from you that you're going to be a good steward of it. And you're doing so out of a sense of obligation, out of a sense of a duty requirement, not out of this is my job, I got to do this. It changes things, in my opinion, a little bit. Okay. So I always want to be a good steward of anything that I am given, and that comes right down to these leads too. So we're going to talk about what it means to be a good steward of a lead now. Okay. All right. We back on the right screen now? Free?
Yep.
Thank you. All right. How do you become eligible to receive leads? There are a couple of prerequisites. Okay. Simply from an IT perspective, you must have your C21 Connect email set up and your Supra set up on your phone. Why is that?
To be able to receive the lead, and then if they need to go and see the house, you need to be able to open the door with your Supra.
Ding, ding, ding. Absolutely, you are correct. So, you know, first off, if you don't have it on your phone, you may not be able to quote unquote speed to lead, which is respond quickly, accept the lead, and reach out to the client. If you don't have your Super set up, if that client was to say, yes, I love the house at 123 Main Street, I want to go see it, and you didn't have your Super set up, you'd be behind the power curve. Okay. Additional prerequisites, we want you to be a frequent presence in the office. If you're the kind of agent that wants to be on leads but wants to sit at home and you never darken the doors, that sends a message that you may not be as engaged in your business as you could be. So we want to see your presence here in the office at least some portion of the time. Okay. We want you to be engaged in your business, actively involved in prospecting. I'm going to mute somebody. I can't tell you who, because I got background noise. We want you to be actively engaged in your business, be plugged in, be doing things, be involved in the office. Okay. We want you to attend Mike's 9 a.m. practice session in the Learning Center. This is where you are going to get the, no kidding, real practical experience on learning how to effectively speak to a lead. This is where you're going to get the what to say and how to say it, and what not to say. That's another thing that's going to be covered right there. Okay. And another additional prerequisites, we want you to be organized, be responsive, and just simply restating the obvious, what we've already talked about, being a good steward of the lead. Okay, those are the prerequisites. There are a couple of additionals. How do I become lead eligible? Well, you have to let Mike know that you are requesting to receive leads. Okay, and as a new agent, the best way to do that is a process that we have in place. We're going to talk about in more detail, but you simply email a copy of the empty leads folder, follow-up report to Mike, and say, I would like to receive some leads. I don't have any now, but I would like to receive some. And you will undoubtedly be thrown a bone, and we'll see how things going. Okay. And then afterwards, to remain lead eligible on an ongoing weekly basis, simply provide a little bit of feedback on the actions and taken and the results that you received. Okay. And folks, it's literally, and it is that simple. There is nothing else involved in doing this from an administrative standpoint. Now, there's a lot involved in the soft skills of speaking to that lead. And that is beyond the scope of what we're going to talk to today. We're just simply talking about the program. And again, this is where you're going to get the maximum benefit out of being at Mike's practice sessions in the morning, where you're actually being taught the skills to be able to make these calls and to handle these leads. Am I right about this? To those of you, Tracy and Leah and Claire, have I misspoken or miscategorized anything up until this point?
Nope, not even a little bit.
All right. So this is, now we're going to talk about what actions do I take when I receive a lead. First off, the lead is going to come to you in a format that looks similar to what you see on your screen now. It's going to be an email, and it's going to come from Mike. Hence why you need to have your email set up on your phone, because if you're on a Saturday afternoon, you want to be able to see it while you're out showing properties. All right. And this has all of the details within here. All right. And then The additional actions once you've received that email is the buzzword. If you haven't heard it before, you're hearing it for the first time here, and you'll hear it many, many times again: speed to lead. The statistics on this are unbelievable. That when a person submit something, they're receptive to receiving that call within a couple of hours. If you wait a day, if you wait an afternoon or half a day to get back to them, your chances of actually reaching them and having a productive interaction with them go down significantly. Okay. So you immediately then, once you receive the email, are you going to acknowledge your acceptance of the lead with a simple reply email, accept. All right. And the goal is for you to accept that lead within 2 hours. If you're not able to initiate immediate contact with the lead within 1 hour of that acceptance, then the suggestion would be hit decline. Okay. Leads that are not accepted by the agent within that 2 hour window, or if they have been declined, those, then if you decline it, then it will be reassigned to another agent. Okay. So I know of a couple of instances in the last few weeks where agents have responded 2 days later, or Mike sent a lead on Saturday morning and they didn't respond until Monday morning. At that point, it has been reassigned. All right. You want to reach out to that lead, and this is where we're going to start talking about scripting. I'm not going to, like I said, that's a little beyond the scope here, but a very good opening line on that initial lead contact is, good afternoon. Hey, this is Joe Blow. This is Jane Doe with Century 21. I received a notification that you're browsing on our website. Wanted to reach out and see if you saw anything that captured your interest. It's a great opening line. Okay. If you are successful in reaching the lead, first off, let's talk about this a little bit. For those of you that have been doing leads and have been doing internet leads for any amount of time, we've got a couple of people on here that are literally brand new licensees and have never done this before. How much of a response rate should you expect from any internet lead?
My experience so
Not
far, it's
very
like
high.
10%, if that.
Yeah.
Okay. Leah says 10. Tracy, what did you say?
Not very high.
It's true. And I don't want to diminish the program in any way, shape, or form,
Right.
because these are internet leads. All internet leads are going to be pretty much similar to this. Okay. These are at-bats. These are opportunities for you to go up to the plate and hit a homer. Are you going to do one every time? Not even close. Sometimes the pitcher's going to be throwing bricks and you're going to hit ball after ball after ball. It's the reality of the business. However, I would say about a 10% answer rate or responsiveness rate is probably fairly appropriate. Let's talk about conversion rate, converting a lead from a lead and a phone call to an actual transaction. Anybody want to take a guess at a conversion rate number? Put it this way: if you're converting a few percentage points, 1 to 3 percentage points, you're doing good. Okay. So hence why this was never designed to be your entire business model. Your entire target audience cannot possibly be leads in this type of environment. There's just not enough and not enough success rate to make it productive. So having said that, I can tell you that there are agents in our office right now today that are experiencing conversion rates close and approaching and above 15%. Exactly. Wow. I agree with you, Taz. Wow. And the key, and if you want to talk about one overarching characteristic of the individual that is experiencing that kind of success, he's a bird dog. He is an absolute bird dog. And who was it I was talking to? He's not on the call, but he was referring to, when I get a lead, he referred to it as 10 days of pain. you are going to hear from me for 10 solid days, whether you like it or not. Okay, so you got to be that bird dog. You got to be aggressive in your follow-up. All right. Back to the screen. All right. So if you are successful in reaching the client, then the goal ultimately is to get your face in front of them. Okay. When you are a human being and you personalize your experience with them, and you're not just a voice on a phone or words on a page or on a screen, then your chance of conversion goes way, way, way up. Okay, so the goal of the contact would be ultimately to set an appointment, whether it be a buyer's appointment or whether it be a showing. Okay, and that's why I put them there both. An appointment could be a showing. It could also just be a buyer's appointment to say, okay, let's talk, let's get together, have a coffee, and sit down and talk about what is it you're trying to do and how you would like to work together. Okay. You want to ask those probing questions. What is that lead looking for? What does that, describe what the house looks like to them. During the conversation, it'd be a good idea if you ask if they're working with a realtor, because that's going to guide the rest of your conversation. Okay, if they are, you need to be ethically responsible and tell them you're welcome to expound upon how you do business without judgment or criticality towards the way somebody else does business. Does that make sense? Okay. You want to focus on the criteria of the home that the lead wants. You want to offer to do a search for them based on the criteria that they've talked to you about. I'm really looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath on 2 acres, with a small barn. Okay. During the course of your conversation, don't be afraid to discuss the value proposition of working with you as their agent. Okay, you have to differentiate yourself from the crowd. All right, so this goes right back to what we were talking about just a few minutes ago, Leah and Julia, when we were saying I've heard that from many of my clients, and a lot of my clients have experienced the same thing, and this is what I've told them. It's an opportunity to give you your value proposition. All right, you can also take the opportunity. Another thing that adds value to you as an agent is your connection with additional resources that they might need. A mortgage lender, contractors, vendors, suppliers. Do they need a specialized solution like I need to sell this one, but I got to buy in order to buy the next one? Do you need to connect them with Home Partners of America or Divvy or Knock for a bridge program? This is your opportunity to shine and to be able to provide them resources that they might not otherwise have. Any questions there? All right. Once you have reached that lead, maybe when you hang up the phone, you are going to enter that lead's contact info into your CRM, and depending upon how you feel about it, I'm a big proponent of I keep everybody in my phone. So I would suggest you put them in your phone. Set up the lead on an appropriate stay in touch campaign, whether you're doing a market update, a weekly, put them into your weekly embedded video messages that are coming directly from you. Okay. Considering setting up on an auto email to identify the prospective properties that they're looking for. And last but not least, we're just going to touch on it here, and we're going to go into more detail here in just a second, but you want to record your efforts and the results in the lead follow-up report. All right, if the lead is unreachable or unresponsive, then you got to be that bird dog, okay? You want to try alternate communication methods. If you call them by phone this time, then the next time you want to do a text. Maybe consider doing a video in that text. The time after that, you're going to do an email, and again, might want to consider a video. Your response rate goes goes higher if you do video because they see you as a person instead of words on a page. Your response rate goes up 91% if you do video. Okay, consider a handwritten note. All right, and you alternate these. Wash, rinse, and repeat. So if you've tried the phone this time, you try the text the next time, the email the next time, maybe a handwritten note. If not, then you go back up to the phone and you just alternate. Okay. Here's another one. Try reaching the lead at a different time of the day, i.e. in the evenings or after work hours. If you are only calling them during the set time of your schedule that works for you, but that person's at work, you're not going to have much success. So I would recommend maybe setting aside on your schedule one evening of the week for follow-up calls or prospecting calls. All right. And if the lead is unreachable or unresponsive, this is where I would say consider entering the lead into your CRM and setting them up on the campaign. If you definitely want to put them in your CRM if you successfully reach that client, that lead. If you don't, this is where it's kind of this comes down to a personal choice. Either you want to stay in touch with them and you need the CRM to remind you to call them back next month or next week or whenever it is that you've said. But a lot of people want to keep their CRM only people that they've actually spoken to and are actively involved in. So that's totally up to you how you want to run your business. And again, recording your efforts and the results in the lead follow-up report. Okay, so we've talked about if the lead is responsible and if the lead is not responsible. Okay, here is after reaching out to the lead, record your efforts and the results in this lead follow-up report. And this is about as simple as it gets, folks. It's the prospect's name, when they were assigned to you, when you contacted them, and what you've done. And this should read very, very simple, like email, no answer, left voicemail, no response, emailed, set up on CRM campaign. Doesn't have to be cosmic. It just needs to say what it is that you've done and what efforts you've taken and what the results of those are. Any questions on the lead follow-up report yet? Okay. After reaching out to the lead, record your efforts, and what you're going to say is just what we talked about, but you're going to email that completed follow-up report to Mike, and copy me, your coach, or Rob, or whoever it is that you're working with at the time. I'd like to see it too, just so I'm stayed plugged in with your business and what you're doing. Okay, that report is due weekly on Friday, no later than 5 p.m. Okay, if you don't have the lead follow-up report, ask, but it also gets posted and emailed out to everybody in the brokerage every Friday morning so that everybody can work on it and get their stuff turned in by Friday at 5 o'clock. Only agents that turn in the lead follow-up report on Friday will remain lead eligible for the following week. Okay, if you are not able to turn in the report, I don't need to say this, it is assumed that you are either one of two things. Either you're too busy to accept additional leads or that you're too disorganized to handle the ones that you've got. Sounds a little harsh, might be a little rough, but it's a reality. Okay, so let's try to stay on top of this. If you're going to be involved in it, there's an expectation that you're going to be able to do this. All right. If you fall out of good graces and you miss the opportunity to get your lead eligibility for a week, or you fail to turn in your report, or you don't reach out to a client in a timely manner, you may be removed from lead eligibility. You can always get it back by simply complying with the criteria above. It's just that simple. Okay. Additionally, you want to monitor your schedule for eligibility for lead acceptance closely. If you know that you've got clients in from out of town and you're showing them 10 houses on Saturday and 8 on Sunday, and you're not going to be available to accept a lead, communicate that. Send Mike an email, say I'm going to be out of pocket this week or this weekend, and then you will no longer find yourself in a position to be in anybody's bad graces because you didn't respond to anything. And then lastly, we're going to celebrate the wins, and we're going to have a great time whenever you're successful in converting one of these leads. And I love this. Don't worry about the failure. Worry about the chances you missed when you didn't even try. That's my parting thought for the day. And I'm sorry, I went over about 5 minutes. Everybody that's, let me see, show of hands, who's currently doing leads?
Me.
Claire, Julia,
I am.
Dale.
Me.
Okay. Anybody that's not, it's a good program, right? Bring it on, girls, guys and girls. Whenever you are ready, ultimately you are the judge of when you are ready to be able to start making calls, to start dealing with clients. I am more than willing to work with any of you guys one-on-one if you need some special help or want to re-engage or cover in any remedial detail. I'm here for you. All right.
Thank you, Jay.
All right, everybody. Have a great day, a great rest of your week, and we'll be back to normal stuff next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Okay.